Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Three Questions with Commercial Integrator. Today's guest is Chris Bianchet, President of Herman Integration Services. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jonathan. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you here. We've had Herman on before, but you guys do so much that it's always nice to get a little bit more information on some of the services you provide and things like that. So starting right off, I want to talk about subcontracting. What are some of the benefits of subcontracting labor rather than hiring an extra employee for an integration firm?
Sure. So, there are a lot of benefits to hiring subcontractors, and subcontracting is not new to the AV industry. It's been around for a long time. We're entering our 8th year of doing this business, and we've just seen explosive growth. I think a lot of companies where they see the value in using subcontractors is that to scale your business, since the late 2008, 2009 period when the economy wasn't very good, a lot of integrators had to scale back their business. And I think the realization came in when margins got a lot slimmer with their businesses that having all of these people on staff wasn't really in their best interest. So subcontracting really got an opportunity to kind of take off. So to scale your business when you're winning larger projects, instead of trying to go out and find people to hire, which we all know today is a huge challenge for our industry. And, we struggle also with there's not a lot of people coming out of school with AV knowledge and things of that nature. How do you win a multi-million-dollar job and then all of a sudden have enough employees to go and do that kind of work without all the rest of your day-to-day business suffering? So having a partnership and having a strategy to work with subcontractors has become very popular with a lot of the larger contractors, and even the smaller contractors now we're seeing are starting to employ these same types of strategies. The other thing in working with a subcontractor, I think, is an advantage is geography. Many companies, are working locally or regionally, and only a few really work on a national basis. But to be able to use a subcontractor in areas that maybe you don't necessarily have resources, but you have customers that want to work with you and work in that region, it's a great option to be able to have a subcontractor who can do the work for you locally. But more than that, where you're saving travel costs and stuff, you also have somebody who's there who can supply that day two support, which has become more and more important, I think, with a lot of integrators and especially the end users, is how are you going to take care of me after you finish this job? Because there's nothing worse than, hey, here's your AV project. Great. Good luck with it. Hopefully I don't have any problems. Now you got a partner who's in town at least that can handle that if there are any with that. So, it's a great advantage, again, I think, for integrators to be able to employ some sort of strategy into their workforce to figure out how do I work with subcontractors to help build their business.
Yeah, a little bit more generally, how can integrators know that the subcontracted labor that they have hired will be up to their firm's standards?
Yeah, we are challenged by that every single day. I would love to say that the industry has adopted 100%, the same standard across the board. But when you're working with literally hundreds of different manufacturers and you have all, various engineers and they put all these various products together in different ways, there are a lot of concerns about how do the standards come there. One of the things I talk to a lot of owners about is I ask them, the first question is I turn it back to them and say, well, help me understand what standards you've established. Do you have a manual that shows us this is the way we like our racks built, and this is the way we, install displays, or this is how we, set up an audio system or whatever it might be? And, it's a challenge for a lot of companies because many haven't really gone to that level. The way their standards are developed in their company is, the smartest tech has developed those standards and has passed it on to the next tech, who's passed it to the next tech. When we get on site, we're like a brand new employee to them. So we don't always know that. So we found that, usually when we start working with integrators, the first couple of jobs, if we're working alongside their people, we can kind of pick up on some of those standards. But, if we can work with them to the point where they can help us understand what their expectations are, and I know it's not an easy thing because there's a lot of moving parts in these jobs, but we try our best. I mean, we spend a fair amount of money training our guys, and we use a lot of the Avixa standards on how things are done. But, as we all know in AV, there's multiple ways of doing things the right way. So it's just a matter of making sure that it's acceptable. As we tell our guys all the time, just do the cleanest work that you can do, the best work that you can do, and make sure that it's working at the end of the day. And usually that will suffice most customers.
Well, speaking of your guys, what does Herman offer in terms of subcontracting labor?
Right. So when we started the business, we were pretty much just a labor support type business where we would provide technicians who could go out there and work alongside lead technicians from an integrator. The business has developed beyond that. We've seen more and more needs out of integrators in various areas. So today we offer everything from basic installers all the way up to field engineering folks who can commission systems. So we have various levels there, lead technicians. We can do jobs turnkey. We can still be labor support. It really just based on how our customer strategy is to go to market with how they want to do jobs, we can kind of work with them in that capability. But we've also added on, we have our own programming staff for doing, control system programming as well as DSP programming. We've added an engineering services team here. So the engineering services team works in twofold. One, we can help customers with pre-sale or post-sales engineering when they get just a glut of work and they need to get things through the system. Our engineering team also works as our first line of defense for our technicians in the field. So if they run into something that they're not 100% familiar with, they have several engineers here that they can call back with, call back here to the office and work along with to help get through any kind of situation. And along with the engineering, we're offering CAD services as well. And then we built up a pretty strong day two support service. We call it our Flex Plan, which allows us to do national service. So our customers buy into a Flex Plan, which is a preset number of hours that they purchase. And then we give a 48-hour SLA to take care of work for them on a day two basis. And that's been actually probably one of the fastest growing parts of our business these days. So pretty much a full service subcontractor in that regard.
Well, certainly a ton of benefit for integration firms. If they do want to learn more about what you guys have to provide, how can they find out more? How can they get in touch?
Absolutely. Well, we're on Facebook and we're on LinkedIn, so you can find us under Herman Pro AV. And then our website is www.herman-is.com.
All right. Chris Bianchet, President, Herman Integration Services. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.